Israel is loosening its gun control laws in response to a violent invasion by Hamas. Videos circulating from the invasion show Hamas insurgents paragliding across the border and storming homes looking for Israelis. Today, we're going to talk about why Israel needs a Second Amendment. Hi, I'm Ben, and you're watching the Minuteman Moment. Before we get into the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends to help beat YouTube's algorithm. While insurgents were flying across the Israeli border on paragliders, a series of coordinated attacks left more than 1,200 dead in Israel, many at a music festival on the Gaza border. A day later, in response to the tragedy, Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir announced that the country would be taking a series of actions to loosen its strict gun control laws. The National Security Minister announced his intent to allow as many citizens as possible to arm themselves and protect themselves and their environment when necessary. Of course, with videos of Hamas gunmen kicking in doors in an Israeli village near the border and allegedly desecrating the dead bodies of babies and teenagers, it's not hard to understand why the government of Israel is starting to second-guess its own strict gun control laws. This goes to show you that the individual right of the people to keep and bear arms is necessary to the security of a free state. That's something that the Americans understand. There's no need to fear an invading force of paragliders, or any force really, coming across the US border. Even if the military didn't immediately take care of the threat, American citizens would be converting their F-150s into makeshift technicals and squashing the invaders with overwhelming firepower. And to those of you who say that could never happen over here, never say never. In fact, the ATF recently put out a notice to all FFLs in border states to be on the lookout for straw purchases of belt feds and .50 caliber firearms. A few days later, a war broke out south of the border, where one cartel unloaded on another cartel with a minigun. Ukraine is another country where the gun control laws were drastically loosened immediately after the invasion by Russia. Machine guns were passed out in the streets, and the country enacted a national right to carry. While Ukraine had a civilian gun culture prior to an invasion by Russia, Israel has not. The Israeli Defense Forces has spent the last few years confiscating guns from local civilian security forces. In fact, you see many off-duty IDF soldiers carrying around their military-issued firearms through Israeli streets, but not civilians. The arguments about training don't hold any water, as most civilians are required to serve at least 2 years. And obviously, the arguments of more heckin' assault rifles being a danger to society doesn't make much sense either, does it? This confiscation has led to Israeli civilians being outgunned as they try to defend their homes. While Hamas terrorists invaded with machine guns, grenades, missiles, the Israeli gun owners were forced to fight back with only a single handgun and 500 rounds of ammunition each, the maximum allowed by the law. But while the new changes in Israel's firearm licensing division will no doubt help self-defenders, those who are eligible to carry firearms under these new rules will still have to undergo a telephone interview and may have to wait up to a week for approval. Even then, Israeli gun owners will only be able to purchase a meager 100 rounds of ammunition. That's not even enough ammo for a good range day. And while we were filming, we checked the license application portal only to find it was down. This means even citizens who qualify under this May issue permitting system can apply for a speedy telephone interview. And worst of all, the Hebrew message reads, "We apologize for the inconvenience." Yeah, that wouldn't be very assuring in the middle of a terrorist invasion. Instead of ammo restrictions, waiting periods, and bureaucratic firearms licensing, Israel needs a Second Amendment protecting the individual right to keep and bear arms for self-defense. Instead of advocating for stripping law-abiding citizens of their rights, these same politicians horrified by the scenes unfolding in Israel should think about the unknown number of terrorists who have crossed our borders undetected. Maybe that will finally wake them up to the importance of our Second Amendment. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and also check out our new podcast, State of the Second, with Kaylee and John.